Hey you guys, it's IcyyDreams here, and I'm here to show you. No, let's go back because this is the whole thing. This is the X and Y OU analysis on Charizard, and I want to make this a series that I like to do, and Charizard will be the first candidate up because Charizard in X and Y, not X, yeah, X and Y, derp. He got a lot of new toys to play with, especially as you can see. He got count them, two Mega Evolutions, and he's so good in X and Y because it's so hard to predict which one someone's gonna run. So you have to kind of like work around that. And I think he got buffed overall due to the new evolutions. Like his mind games play has become so much stronger, and he's just overall a really good Pokemon. And his two Mega Evolutions are super bulky and they're super good. So let's just go on. The pros and cons of using Charizard. The pros are Charizard is a Pokemon that can catch people off guard because of his two megas. He has unique typing for ROU, which is fire flying, and fire dragon, which is really unique because usually you don't see them often in OU. And he's really bulky after Mega Evolving, like super bulky. He has a versatile move pool in both forms, having like access to flying, fire, and dragon. Firefly and dragon grass and the hidden powers. So its coverage is just really, really godlike. Speaking of godlike, he has fairly good speed with 100 base speed, so he means he can outspeed Genesect if he's not running Choice Sparf. So yeah, and he just looks like a total badass. So that is a +1 as well. And next thing is the cons of Charizard. It is really weak to rocks, so it's gonna need support because if you have rocks up, it's gonna take instantly 50% damage, no matter if you're going Charizard X. So you're gonna need some support for that thing. It's fairly hard to switch in because its defensive typing is shit, especially before it mega evolves. Its defensive typing is just garbage. Like, stop it. Just no. It's so hard to switch in, and its high usage is also a downfall for it because since it's really used in a lot of teams right now, that means people are running counters, so it's going to be likely prone to being countered by many different kind of Pokemon. Why use Charizard in OU? The reason why you should use Charizard in OU is basically what you can read right here. But one of the best things it's a dragon type that is weak to fairies, and it can counter, and it can hit fairies decently well with some of its stats moves, especially with fire type moves, because it has really. It's just really, really freaking powerful, and it's also hard to switch into because its damage that it does is ridiculous to anyone, especially if you're using the fire type move in the Sun by Charizard. Why that thing sweeps teams, not even sweeps teams, just like demolishes those Pokemon's HP bars really quick. And it's just really good Pokemon because it can set up really well when you're using X with Dragon Dance, or as I like to do, Home Claws, which you'll see later on in the video. And this is just two of the sets that I found that I can make up with Charizard X. One of them is Flame Charge, Dragon Rush, Earthquake, and Hone Claws, which is my favorite set and the one I use. Or you can use Dragon Claw, or you can use the DD set, which is more popular, and it's DD, Dragon Claw / Outrage, Fire Bits, and an insert move of your choice. Some people might do Roost, some people could do Earthquake, or, it's just up to you. And Tough Claw's ability is really good, so it makes it so it hits really, really powerful. By the way, ignore that name for that item because I didn't know what the fuck that item was called. Okay, next one. These are just some damage calculators for Charizard X, and basically it shows you. I'm using my set, by the way, but you can also apply it to both sets. Yeah, this is an Earthquake with a defensive Aegislash with a 252 HP, 0 defense. Aegislash is a clear 2-hit KO in defense form. So that just shows you how powerful Charizard X is. It's so godlike. And the 252 Dragon Rush, which again is like I'm showing my set versus defensive Hippowdon, is clearly it's not even almost. It's basically a 2-hit KO on Hippowdon, and I just use Hippowdon because Hippowdon is a really tanky Pokemon, and it does And it can hit Sorry about that. Charizard with the Earthquake, very powerful in the next turn. So I just use that because it's a clear check to Charizard if he goes for the wrong move or isn't using my set. Because if he's using Dragon Claw, I don't think Dragon Claw will 2-hit KO a Hippowdon, even with Tough Claws and even with the +1. So it's a check to Charizard in that sense, because he can just hit back with the Earthquake and just OHKO it next turn and take 2 Dragon Claws. My next one is looking into Charizard Y, and I just looked into his basic set that most Charizard Y runs, and that's probably going to be Solar Beam, Fire Blast, Dragon Pulse / HP Ice, and a move of your choice. Probably going to be Roost, maybe because it doesn't have any recovery, and that's another bad thing about the Megas. They can't have an item, so you're going to really have to work around them not being able to access an item. So yeah, keep that in mind when you're using Charizard. And yeah, and the next thing is you're going to be running. This is probably basic stats you're going to run. Huh. This one's weird. This calculation is off because you can see it's negative. I think that's minus speed. Minus special attack nature. So I'm gonna check on that, and I'm gonna put the new calculations down there in the description. I think that might be a little bit off, and if it is, I'm sorry about that. I thought I did it. I guess I was still using the Jolly. Not yeah. I guess I was still using Jolly nature from the Charizard X. So I'll put that in there if it is indeed correct or anything. If it is indeed not correct. And 252 Charizard special attack, the Fireball Stuff, Thick Fat Mega Venusaur is clearly a 2-hit KO after Stealth Rocks. So yeah, and this just again shows you how beastly these Pokemon are after they Mega Evolved. This is even without any stat upgrades, like any boost. It's so destructive, and it's so strong. And yeah, that was the OU analysis. And now to go on to my I'll show you the just a quick match that I did. Make sure it's still this is just a quick match that I did with my set that I was just talking about with my Charizard, and I'm gonna instant replay it. This was a first match I went to. I'm sorry that it's really quick and it's so garbage because I just decimated this guy. He was really new. In fact, he didn't have any wins. And you will tell how new he is. The way he let me set up on him. Yeah, he has the drill peck on the Skarmory, and I was like, oh crap, this guy right here is gonna be garbage. I'm sorry. And yeah, he was not the best. See, Dragon Rush OHKOs that Rotom, but I'm not sure what that Rotom was, so I can't even say how much of a fact that is. But yeah, and yeah, my Dragon Rush almost OHKOs that Cloyster, and it does OHKO this Blissey. And yeah, I was asking why the fuck did he go Water Pulse, because that was retarded. And yeah, I was like, what? Water Pulse? He's like, it gets no better water moves. I'm like, dude, it gets it gets Hydro Pump. What are you doing? But yeah, and that's just a little display of how godlike my set is in Charizard. So if you want to use that on Charizard X, by all means, go for it. And again, thank you for watching the video, and later. This has been IcyyDreams, and I'm out. Okay, yep. Step.